I'm going on what could easily be the craziest golf trip on YouTube. This trip's gonna take place over 2 months, covering 12 states and playing over 35 different courses. I'm gonna tell you guys the route I'm taking. I'm not gonna tell you the exact courses I'm going to play. You can guess in some of the locations what I'm gonna play, but I'm gonna leave that up to when I start to post the videos. So I'm starting in Ohio, which I actually already filmed. Then I'm coming to New Jersey, where I am right now, heading to Delaware, then from Delaware to Pinehurst, Pinehurst to Myrtle Beach, Myrtle Beach down to Hilton Head, Hilton Head to Jacksonville, Jacksonville up to Atlanta, Atlanta to Nashville, and then Nashville to Columbus, just to take a little bit of a break after that stretch. Then Columbus up to Michigan, then taking that bridge over to the other side of Michigan, then coming down through Wisconsin, and you can maybe guess where I'm gonna be playing there. Wisconsin to Chicago, Chicago to Indianapolis, then Indianapolis all the way back down to Orlando, and then from Orlando possibly to Tampa, then from Tampa to Fort Myers, to where I'll just be taking a little bit of a break until I head back to school in the fall. Now you're probably wondering, why am I doing this trip? Pretty much I really just want to show you guys the different types of golf courses that this country has to offer. The main goal of this trip is to really just show that golf is the same game no matter where you play it. You can go play a $500 course, you can go play a $20 course. The goal is the same, to get that little ball in the hole in as little amount of strokes as possible. And when I go to each location, I'm not just gonna go play the nicest courses every single day. Yes, I'm gonna go play maybe 1 or 2 courses that could be $300-400, but I also am gonna highlight courses that are under $100. So that way, if you're planning a trip there and you wanna splurge maybe for 1 round and then spend a little less money for the others, you have that option as well. And then at each one of these courses, I'm not just gonna go play the course and that be that. I'm gonna give you an in-depth look of everything the course has to offer, from the pro shop, practice facilities, locker room, food. Then I'm gonna go out and play the course. Now, after I'm done playing, I'm gonna rate it among different categories. So now the different categories that each of these courses is going to be rated on, and these are going to be the same categories across every single one of my courses that I go play, all 35 over all these states. So as you can imagine, the scores can be a little bit different. So the first one is going to be playability, and that is really just covering if golfers of different skill levels can play there, if they offer a different number of tees, different lengths to play, if there's forced carries, or if it's difficult to play. So a higher playability score means that golfers of different skill levels will have a fun time out there. So the next one's affordability, and it's pretty self-explanatory, just the price that it is if you're going to go play. I'm gonna take the peak season prices of when I am personally playing. There's gonna be cheaper options, obviously, if you play earlier in the year, or a lot of these courses offer afternoon discounts. I'll mention that based on the course that I play. Next category is accessibility. Now this is really just going into how difficult is it to find a tee time. Do you have to book it a week in advance, 2 weeks in advance, a year in advance? Can you book same day? Is there availability? So that's gonna cover that category. Then the next is the practice facilities. What kind of things do they offer? Range, what kind of range balls do they have? Putting green, chipping green, kind of stuff like that. The next one's the pro shop. I think this is a pretty under talked about topic at a golf course. I think a nice pro shop really ties in the whole vibe of the course. So going into what they offer, the different things that you buy, the merch, the accessories, stuff like that. Location is the next one, and I think this is also important. Is it in a location where is it just the golf course and nothing else around, or is there other things to do in the area? So that could be important to consider when you're traveling somewhere. Condition of the course, again, this is subjective depending on when you choose to go play. It's going to be different. I imagine some of these courses I'm going to play are going to be aerated. That could affect the condition score if someone was basing it off of that. But I'm just going to take a holistic view of the layout of the course and the condition it could be at when it is, in that full playable time. Next, we got accommodations. Some of these courses that I'm going to be playing offer on-site accommodations. And the ones that do not offer on-site accommodations, I'm going to talk about how close the closest hotels are, how expensive it is to do a stay and play package, stuff like that. So a higher accommodation score means that they offer a lot of options, and it's relatively affordable for what you're getting. Next, we have food, and I think, again, this is a pretty underrated topic when talking about going to a course and playing. Not only are you going to go play the golf course, but you might go into the bar, have a drink after, get something to eat. Realistically, I'm probably not gonna go have something to eat at every single one of these courses. It just will break the bank account, and if I'm playing early in the morning or later in the day, it's just not realistic. But what I will do for the courses courses that I'm not gonna have something to eat at, I'm going to look at the menu, look at what they have to offer, if there's anything unique that they offer, how many restaurants they could have on property, stuff like that. And then obviously the courses that I do decide to eat at, I'll talk about the food and what I get. It'll probably be, I usually like a hamburger, or I might get a hot dog at the turn, stuff like that. And then finally, the overall value. Now this is just a holistic view of kind of all the categories that I just went over. I'm gonna give it a score out of 10, and it's just gonna really tie in everything that I talked about before, giving it a good value based on price, location, everything. So that's gonna be the last category. And now all these are gonna be scored out of 100. I'm gonna add all these categories up, and that's gonna be the score. And I want you to think about these scores as if 100 out of 100, if a course gets a 10 out of 10 in every single category, which is very difficult, I want you to think of that course as Augusta National. There's not a lot of courses out there like Augusta National, so keep that in mind. And yes, the higher priced, higher end resort type courses are probably gonna get scored higher, and that's why those are gonna get grouped together. And the lower priced, more affordable options are going to get grouped together as well. So none of these scores are speaking bad about the courses or anything. All these courses I'm going to are very nice and very affordable, some of them, and some of them pretty expensive. So that's kind of wanted to do the wide range of selection of courses. That way, if you guys were traveling to one of these areas, you can go spend 50 bucks and have a great day at this one course. From the $50 to $100 category, you know, anything in the 70s is a very good score. That means you're getting, you know, 6, 7, 8s, and 9s in these categories. Anything from the $100 to $150, the high 70s to mid 80s type of score is gonna be a really solid score. And then from the 150 to 200, anything from the mid 80s to the low 90s is gonna be, again, a really solid score. I mean, you're getting high scores in these categories. And then obviously these top tier courses, the $300, $400 courses, probably be sitting in the 90s just because of what they offer, but you're gonna be paying a little bit more. So again, all these scores are speaking positive about the courses, what they have to offer. There's no negativity there. I really appreciate all the courses that are letting me come out and play. You guys are gonna get really cool drone footage of every hole, of the whole property, and I'm really excited to show you guys, you know, the beautiful golf that this country has to offer. So make sure to subscribe to follow along the journey. I'm super excited to be doing this. So this is the announcement video. It's gonna be going out on a Thursday. So you guys are seeing that right now. The next one, the first stop on this trip is Virtues Golf Club outside of Columbus, Ohio. That's gonna be going out on Saturday. So take a look at that. It's a really, really cool video. You guys are gonna get a really good view of what that course has to offer and what all these courses have to offer rather. So really excited about that. Make sure to subscribe to follow along the journey. Check out my other social channels for behind the scenes content, the road trip that we're doing. It's all gonna be done in the car too. So keep that in mind. We're staying at Airbnbs. It'll be a fun time documenting the whole experience, but I really appreciate you guys sticking around, and I'm really excited about this trip. Thank you guys for your support. Subscribe to follow along, and I'll see you guys at Virtues Golf Club.